Morning, everyone. This is Lindy. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a great Easter. So, I wanted to talk about my subscribers' questions today. I have two questions that I'm going to answer. The first one was about the file cabinet. I have a 1500 Chevy Express. It has a 54-inch from the floor to the ceiling, 54 inches after you put the floor in, which my floor is about it's not 3/4 of an inch, about 1/4 of an inch. It's not really thick because I didn't want to lose too many inches. The file cabinet was 51 inches tall. When you add in all of the insulation on the roof, the floor on the bottom, I had approximately 1 inch, which is exactly about right. 1 inch between the roof and the file cabinet. And that's the measurements that I had. And yes, it does work. Excuse me. You have to work on walking it in and getting it correctly done. The other question that I wanted to answer was Florida guy asked me, he's wanting to start a van life, why I had 2 solar units. Well, I actually have 3. I started out, everybody starts out, it seems like, with a smaller unit. I got a 300 watt unit, not realizing that the DC was not regulated. The DC plug is not regulated. And I had bought a tiny DC refrigerator at the thrift store for $6. I believe it was $6. It was in the box, never been used. It was a Black & Decker, and they sold for like $129. So I bought a 300 watt Bluetti. It didn't run it. I gave the refrigerator away. I was so frustrated. And after I gave it away, now, the 300 will run, you charge your phone, run your lights, run some fans, but you can't cook with it. You can't do much with it. And my plan was to live off solar, to cook with it, to cool with it, to use everything solar. Well, I learned through almost 2 years of living in a van, that solar has its idiosyncrasies, and people don't talk about that. If solar gets too hot or it gets too cold, the generator, it doesn't charge. It still discharges, it just doesn't charge. The other thing that I didn't, even though I studied it, I didn't understand it, was that you need more panels. The faster you charge your solar up, the better off you are. So you don't want to spend all day in the sun charging your solar. So you need a lot of panels. So I have 500 watts of solar panels on my roof. I can get one more up there, but my son refuses to rearrange. You know, we women, we rearrange everything. I said, well, we can move this. No. He said, no. I do have, so I got a 1500 watt Bluetti, and it's actually 1,000 watts, 1,028 watt surge, or 1,500 watt surge. That's plenty for me. I keep all my appliances under that. However, my son gave me a 2,000 watt Bluetti. Again, it's been a real learning process. I only had 300 watts on my roof when he gave that to me. I put the other 200 on after I gave him back the Bluetti. I figured out that, wait a minute, you just don't have enough watts. The Bluetti uses its own power. I couldn't get it charged up. I just couldn't. And even with the 500 watts, I don't use enough of it. The 1,500 watts is perfect. It's perfect because I use most of it during at night, and I usually have 2 bars when I wake up in the morning. It's a little harder in the winter, so the small one comes in handy to use for your phone and your lights if you're really low on your 1500. But the reality is you only need one, and I would suggest you get at least 400 or 500 watts. I do have 2 suitcases. I don't like them. I gave them to my son gave me one. And he has them. They get dirty. You can't put them out if it's raining. I don't appreciate them. I don't think for the value, for the money, that they give you the value. Flexible. My first 3 panels were flexible. I would not buy flexible again. My first 3 panels I got were $170, each. My next 2 panels I bought an off-brand called Host for $85. And they work just as good as the Renogy. Renogy is an excellent product, but I would not buy flexible again. If flexible cracks, it can, from what I understand, it can start a fire. They don't last as long. This is what I understand. They work just fine for me, but I have them taped to my roof, so they're not going anywhere. I may never get those panels off my roof with Eternal Bond tape on it. But, so if you want to know how I installed things and why I have what I have, that's the reason. I started out just like everybody else, and we upgrade till we figure out what we're doing. The next thing that I'm ever going to do is I'm going to build my own. I just found it cost prohibitive 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I started this process. It cost more than buying that Blue Eddy. It really did. And so I just decided that I'd just buy the unit. Now, I know that I can wire it, and I know I have enough 500 watts. I'd love to have 600 on my roof. Ideal would be 1,000 watts. But I'm never going to get it on my roof. I'm never going to get it there. So, that's the reason why I have 2 units. Now, the small one I have put away into my storage. The big one, the 2,000 watt, I gave it back to my son, and I said, use it in your house, learn how to use it, experiment with it, because you can add to that one, and that could run a whole house if you add some more batteries to it. And if he, runs out of power, they have blackouts, I want him to be able to run. He has to have one of those breathing machines. So I want him to be able to run that machine. So that's the answer. And today, I would like to shout out Redheaded Writing Hood. If you've been through traumas and you like poetry and cooking, that's Red. Full disclosure, Red is a member. However, Red is also my friend. I consider her a friend. I met her at RTR, and I had been talking to her before then. So I like Red a lot. She's a wonderful human being. And if you're interested, then check her out. And I will put her link below. And I thank all of you for subscribing and watching. I am doing a huge video. So I am installing my air conditioner. Oh my goodness. Anyway, for this next video, you're going to have popcorn, candy, and a drink, and sit down to watch it, because it's going to be long. I mean, this is a tremendous process for me. Remember, I'm 76 this year, and I'm lifting this and building this and doing that, and oh my goodness. So it's a process, and I'm trying to film it, all of it, to the best of my ability. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. You have a great day. Camo.